So last time we were looking at the chicken wing dissection to see how the muscles, the bones, and the skin work together to make the chicken wing move. So now we have to move on because looking at a good chicken wing does not help us explain what happened to the boy's foot that was injured. So our question here is, if we want to figure out more about how the injury affected different parts of the student's foot and prevented him from being able to walk, how could we revise this dissection? And so the students in the class pretty much came to the quick conclusion that we have to do something to the chicken wing to give it an injury. So what we decided to do was to watch a video where the chicken wing was broken. So we're going to take a look at that. So we had a couple predictions as to what might happen. So we were thinking maybe with a broken wing, the arm of the chicken, the wing of the chicken wouldn't move as it normally does. Maybe we'd see some swelling, some muscle damage might have happened. So we kind of came along with those ideas there. So what we're going to see is a video. They're going to have a crowbar, and they're just going to kind of hit the chicken wing there. If you don't want to watch, in the video they're going to show this happening. If you don't want to watch it, you can kind of wait a couple seconds. I'll announce that it's over at that point if you want to watch it after that, and they just use the chicken wing after that. So I'll let you know that they've done this in case you don't want to watch it, and then you can come back to the screen when it's done. So we're going to watch that, and then they're going to show us how the chicken wing worked after that. So here's the video. So there's the chicken wing, and here's where they're going to injure it. So again, they're going to take this crowbar that's on the right-hand side, and they're going to just hit the bone. So if you don't want to watch, you can kind of turn away or something, and I'll tell you when it's over. So if you are watching, just explain what's going on. If not, you can just listen. So right now they're just breaking the bone here. Okay. And if you did not watch, you can watch again. So what parts of the wing, if any, do you think we were damaged? So a lot of people were thinking maybe the bone, obviously. We didn't see any skin damage. I don't see any torn skin there. And maybe some muscle damage. It's hard to tell with the skin on. So right now they're just kind of checking it out. The wing still moves, it looks like. He's able to stretch it out and all that stuff, so it seems to be still doing something. But remember, he's pulling on it, and that's not the way the chicken wing works. Chicken has to move the wing. So we have to see if it'll actually work with the muscles. Okay. And that's what he's going to go to next. So right now it does seem to move like normal. Again, we have the bicep in green, the tricep in purple, like we have on our arm. And this is the bone they broke. They broke the upper arm of the chicken, if there was a human. So again, we're going to pull on the bicep, tricep, bicep, tricep, bicep, tricep, bicep, tricep. And you can tell it's still moving, but not like it did in the last lesson, where you can almost see like the chicken pointing to something. So there's definitely some difference here, but right now the skin's on it, so it's hard to tell. So you can notice that the wing is not moving like it normally did. So next thing you're going to do is take off the skin, like we did last time, so we can kind of see what's happening underneath. So the video is just showing how that's happening here. Okay, so now we've got our chicken without the skin. And again, it does move. But remember, we have to move the muscle to make the wing move. So he's going to do that now with the bicep and tricep. And you can see there's already some trouble doing that. So he is pulling the bicep, tricep, bicep. And I think you can tell very quickly that this chicken wing is not moving like it should be, as when we saw it when the wing was not broken. That wing's just going all over the place. It's not even staying the way it's supposed to. So obviously that bone had something to do with keeping this motion going the way it should have. So you can imagine if somebody broke a leg or an arm that they probably wouldn't be able to use their leg or arm too well, based on what we saw here. So you can tell that the motion is not the same. It's actually worse when the skin was taken off. Actually, the skin was kind of helping it. And now we're going to just take a look at the inside of the bone a little bit, just to see what it looks like. So there's the broken bone right here, right there. And then they're going to take an image and they're going to kind of zoom in on that. So here's the, I'm going to pause it here for a second. So you can see the broken bone right there. They kind of put it back together so you can kind of see how it looks if it was back together. And then we look at the insides. So you can kind of see the whitish areas of the bone. And then we all noticed in our classes that there's this red stuff inside. So we weren't sure if that was... So we saw some red stuff inside. We weren't sure if that was like blood that's inside the bone, or like when we hit it with the hammer that some blood got in there. So we're not sure where that's coming from yet. So we'll keep watching the video here. So now they're just going to show the two videos side by side so we can see the injured and the uninjured. And you can see from the uninjured, definitely doing motion like it should be, and the injured wing is not doing what it's supposed to be. Okay. So then we wanted to kind of compare back to our student who was injured. And we kind of thought back as like, well, with our student that was injured, we had some bleeding because he got cut. We didn't see any bleeding with the chicken wing. We also didn't see any swelling with the chicken wing. We had some swelling with the boy's foot. We're also comparing a foot from a human to a wing of a bird. So that's some things that are different. So it's a good comparison because it has the three parts we need: the bone, the skin, and the muscle. But it's not the perfect comparison because we're looking at two different animals, different parts, and not everything's the same. So good comparison, but not the greatest. But it's what we have for now. Then we kind of look back at some other things we've done. So we worked with our cups and we saw there was a system. So the cup, the lid, the straw were parts of a system. We looked at the weather. We saw that the sun, the ground, the moisture in the air itself, the clouds were all part of a system, and they all work together to do things. So if we look at the body as a system, there will be some parts. We went through different parts of the body: the hands, the legs, stomach and intestines, heart, lungs, kidneys, brain. We went through the whole thing, and we could say that these are parts of our body, which is a system that all work together to do something more complex. So another thing we did in class, we looked at our chart that we had last time, where we had what it looks like and what does it do in the body for the skin, muscle, and bone. And we added on another column. So we wanted to see how the way the part is made relates to its function. So we said that the skin stretches, and that helps its function because it can always cover the body no matter what the body is doing. We had the muscle. The muscle can change size. It's flexible, so it can pull on the bone to make the body move. And then the bone was solid, and because it's solid, when a muscle pulls on it, it can make the body do things. It can make those parts of the body move. So we just kind of added a new part onto our chart. So that was there. You may want to refer back to this in a few minutes when you're filling out your progress tracker. So the progress tracker, you're going to go to Schoology, where you're watching this video, and download the progress tracker and send it to Notability. And you're going to see this. And what you'll want to do here is write down this question. You might want to replay this a couple times. So you want to know what you want to know what the muscle, skin, and bones do for the body. What's their job? So that's our question. What does the muscle, skin, and bone do for us? So one more time. What does the skin, bone, and muscles do for us is the question. So you can just use the text box, or you can use your stylus to write that in. The next column where it says what we figured out, In this section, you're going to write down things that we've learned in our first 5 days. So you can look at that chart that we just watched before this. So you could use that to help fill you in. So that's what you're going to do here. And then finally, based on what we found out so far in our first 5 days, what does that make you think or wonder about healing? You know, so you saw a broken bone with the chicken. You know what bones are, how they are, what they do. So what does it make you think about healing? You know, is there a question you have about how bones heal or something? If you're thinking about muscle, like how does that affect healing? If you're thinking about the skin, how does that affect healing? So any questions you might have about healing in these 3 parts of the body so far. When you're done with that, you're going to submit that to the assignment for day 6. It's called Progress Tracker, so you can send that there. And that was it for today.